Hello, Tim. This is my very late entry into your 200 whatever subscriber contest. I apologize for being so late, and if I am too late to enter, I totally understand. That's fine. I just wanted to make the video anyway because it sounded like fun. So yeah, I'm sorry, and if I am too late, that's cool. So I don't have a #1 favorite book. Not really. So I tried to think of something that I've had for a long time that affected me and introduced me to something, you know, and something that I pull out again every once in a while to look at. And I came up with a few, but I think this one kind of came out on top. And to anybody watching this who's squeamish or easily offended, I guess you should probably just stop the video right now because my selection is a little graphic, and that is Taboo. Focus. All right, that's a little graphic, I guess. So this is an anthology, and there's I think 7 of them, but I don't have all of them. I bought this when it was still very new. This came out in 1988. I would have bought this in 88 or 89 when I was 14 or 15. I started collecting comics when I was 14. Always really liked horror, and this is when I started getting into, you know, being 14, I wanted, you know, the more graphic the better kind of thing, but not necessarily, because I was still into old black and white horror films as well. But I also wanted to see the extremes, you know. And definitely by the time I was 16, that's when I started getting into a lot of the foreign stuff that we were talking about before, like Fulci, Argento, Asian stuff, whatever. And I started collecting comics when I was 14, and tried to find horror comics. You know, I found a few that were okay, but when I saw this on the shelf, it was like right away on the cover, I was like, wow, okay, this is what I've been looking for. Something dark, something graphic, something, you know, disturbing, which is what I was after. I wanted that. I was looking for that. So this introduced me to that kind of horror comic, and it also introduced me, yeah, and Clive Barker does a introduction here in some of his artwork, which is really cool. Very simplistic, but very cool. I remember copying those a few times, stuff like that. So that's some more of Clive Barker's artwork. His little introduction to this collection here, and that's Steve Bissette. What's he called that? Sensitivity. Very cool statement against censorship there, that piece of art, and disturbing, which is great. Again, that's what I was after. And another reason why I like this so much, it introduced me to a lot of creators. Here we go. So Chester Brown, who you may or may not know, I'm sure you do, Tim. I think you do for sure. There's some Chester Brown stuff in here. This was my introduction to him. Dirk the Gerbil and Bunny and stuff. And through this, I came to be a fan of Yummy Fur. And among other things too, of course, Ed the Happy Clown. But Yummy Fur was his current series at the time, and I really got into that through this. And what's another one in here? Oh, Cottonmouth by Steve Bissette. About this guy, well, I won't go into it too much here, but I really like the artwork here. I loved his style, and you know the this image in particular was kind of unsettling. You know, waking up with your mouth sewn shut, and this introduced me to Steve Bissette. And I ended up picking this up not too shortly after in one of the back issue sections somewhere at some shop, I don't remember where. This Swamp Thing with Alan Moore. And another creator that this introduced me to, I'll find it. There's a lot of great stuff in here. No, that's not it. I'll find it. There we go. Scarecrow by Charles Vess. This was another really cool story. Really like the artwork. And that introduced me to Charles Vess, who 2 years later put out Amazing Spider-Man Spirits of the Earth, which is really, really nicely painted with watercolors. And I'm sure you've read this. I don't hear much people talk about it ever, but this was an original graphic novel that he did, and I even met him at the Silver Snail, and he was signing this, although I couldn't afford to buy this when he was there. So I did get his autograph on a Child of Night, I think it was, comic. I had that, so I had him sign that, but I couldn't afford this book at the time. I ended up buying this book not even very shortly after. It might have been like birthday money or something like that that I got. I think I bought Spirits of the Earth in the same year. So anyways, I don't have too much more to say about it. I mean, there's lots of really... Oh, okay, I love this. This is to me, this is hilarious. Yeah, anyways, like lots of great art, really good horror stories, introduced me to a lot of creators that I became fans of, and yeah, that's pretty much it. If I could throw in something else, just for the hell of it, that I got around the same time in 1990? Pedestrian Vulgarity by Dennis Worden. It's a collection of comics that he did. He was just, I think his first appearance was in Robert Crumb's Weirdo, which I don't have, unfortunately. This is a collection of his stuff from 1981 to 1987. Crude art, crude humor, juvenile, which is why I liked it. Poker game at turds. Gob. Gob is great. It's like poetry. Gob got gas, it kills a man. Gob don't care, eat beans again. Yeah. Really childish, crude, vulgar stuff, which I love, and I do pull this out every now and then. And it's even got some positive messages. Gob shoots junk, think it's cool, ends up lying in vomit pool. Meat market, no. Oh, Dennis Worden's Page of Crap. Short stories. Number 1. A guy came over to fix our TV. He looked hideous. When he bent down, he let out a huge fart. We all died. Fantastic story. That's a great story. And this is probably my favorite in here. The Wizard of Shit. And also the longest story too. It's just plenty in there for people to be, certain people to be offended by, I guess, but anyways, I know you said 1, but I threw that in there too, just because. And that is all. That's my entry. Thank you for watching. Thanks. Yeah, you know what? This was actually a fun little quick video to make, to talk about some older books that I bought way back when I started collecting, and I still pull out every now and then. So yeah, so thanks for having the contest, Tim, and yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.